So the purging of the priesthood, that can be secrets coming out, cleaning house of the priest. On the surface, that's what that is. But at the metaphysical level, which is what we're talking about here, what's hidden in the symbolism, it is purging our own dogmatic tendencies so that the ego can connect with the soul. Hello, welcome back. We are continuing working through astrology 2 degrees at a time. Today we're looking at Virgo, Pisces 25. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kim. If you want a little bit of an intro to what this is all about, there are 2 videos in the description that could be helpful. One is on crystal wisdom, what do I mean when I talk about the crystals, and the other is the beginning of the Sabian symbol playlist. The very first video gives you a little bit of insight into what this is all about. Without further ado, thanks again for being here. Let's get into Virgo. A flag at half-mast in front of a public building. A man crawling on his hands and knees through dust keeps finding jewels and other valuable items. In the night, someone is softly singing in their sleep. A woman dressed in mourning, smiling behind a transparent black veil. A gold ring in the form of a snake swallowing its tail. The stone here is black marble. It gives us strength, stability, protection, grounding, a symbol of power, wealth, elegance, seriousness. It gives us protection from negative energies, promotes emotional stability, gives grounding to the physical world while enhancing our intuition and spiritual awareness. So let's talk about the man crawling around on his hands and knees, finding more and more treasures. So the treasures that he's finding are the treasures within. They're what we learn and glean along the path of trying to get back to ourselves. The journey is the journey to who we are, why we're here, why we are. And here, with patience and continual focus on trying to get to the truth. What's the truth? Where is it? And slowly sifting like someone who's sifting sand and keeps finding more and more treasures. Like, are they magically appearing? They were always there, but the more we look, the more we find. We are the journey, so there's nowhere to go except within. And it is a weird thing, but it is true. That's where the work is. That's where the journey is. Anything that we do, we learn more about ourselves. And so long as we do that, something was gleaned. And we keep doing that. And the more we do, we learn more and more. So what's at the end of the road? So even though people die, the things that they accomplished live on. The memories that they created with loved ones, stories they left behind, things that they created, that is what is left. So it's leaving a legacy. Thinking about legacies is going on here as well. The journey is the point, so we're not to rush to the finish line. If we take the approach that we are exactly where we're meant to be, that we're guided to do exactly what we're meant to do, we relax into the journey. And if we decide to take a shortcut or a side route and it throws us quote unquote off course, we still learn something, we get back on the track and we keep moving. But being gentle with ourselves and always a focus of, I've learned something. I've gotten a little bit more of what I am to the surface. And going over things again and again and again. One example, because I'm doing this, is these symbols, this imagery. I've gone over these so many times. I really don't know how many times. But the more that I do, the more that I glean. And having to do it in front of a camera where I'm trying to be succinct and make a point so that I can help teach something, get a point across, it helps me learn more. That in itself is healing for me. And I hope it is for you guys. I hope you're enjoying these. We want to try to get the inner with the outer connected. There's a backstory where stalactites and stalagmites are almost touching. And that's a metaphor for who we are. The ego and the soul meeting. We walk in unison. We are one. It can also be about social recognition for those who've passed on and have done a wonderful job for the community. The things that they've done have left a mark, either within a family or a community or a country. So what's left behind? Being pleased at the end of the road, the woman smiling behind a veil. Because she knows who she is, she's almost out in the open. So this is coming to the end of a long set of degrees. Really, it's almost the end of 6 months of degrees. And so yeah, she's almost in the light. The woman behind the veil is almost here. The butterfly is about to emerge. The mermaid's about to come out of the water. The coming back around, the gold snake that is swallowing its tail, it's about to take another loop around and seeing things to the finish line. The ability to take a concept, have an idea, bring it out there and go all the way through all the steps to bring it to fulfillment, to have an achievement that is a legacy. And forgiving ourselves for personal failures. You know, anytime you do anything of value, you're going to make mistakes. We make mistakes. And we learn from those mistakes. So long as we learn from the mistakes, then it was a lesson learned and we move on. So at the end of the road, people let those fade away. They do fade away. What's left is the achievement. What's the legacy? It is our job to nurture and uncover who we are, why we are. If we feel an emptiness, this degree is calling us to say, hey, at the end of it all, do you want to have regrets? Make a course correction. We can do it any day, anytime. We can just start doing things differently. Take a few different steps. Love yourself a little bit more today. Let's take a look at Pisces. The purging of the priesthood. On top of a high hill, a circle of standing stones. People and animals frightened during an eclipse. At the river, singing and purification by the water. A beautiful city suffused with an emerald glow. The stone here is the cross stone or chiastolite. It helps open the root chakra, can provide mental clarity, inner peace, accelerates self-healing. It fills our aura with positive energy, leading to joy and enlightenment. Holding it raises awareness of surrounding energies. It aids discovery of the true self. It is also a protection talisman. So the purging of the priesthood, that can be secrets coming out, cleaning house of the priest. You know, on the surface, that's what that is. But at the metaphysical level, which is what we're talking about here, what's hidden in the symbolism, it is purging our own dogmatic tendencies so that the ego can connect with the soul. One thing that was written here that was really beautiful and it hit home today, for some reason I finally heard it, is that every man is a church with the soul as their God. But we can forget that, and we forget that we're a soul first and foremost. When we die, our bones and our skin go away, but the soul doesn't. The soul lives on forever. We are eternal. And we forget that we have access to that, and that the soul knows what we need for nourishment. And we need to tap into that here. So here there's an ability to open up to what's hidden so that we can bring the parts of ourselves that we have not integrated or forgotten that were important, and we can bring them together. the people and animals that are frightened during an eclipse. So during an eclipse, it's a window of time, and we're about to head into one here in just a week or so. And during that window, and even a few weeks before, a few weeks after, everything's out in the open. The shadow, sometimes we think the sun, the light, is what shows what's going on. But during the eclipse, it plays with the light, and we're able to see things that we generally don't. So shadows come out in the open, and we see things that can be scary. It doesn't have to be scary. It's just giving us a glimpse into things that are generally unseen. You know, they're underneath the surface, they're pulling strings, but not being aware of them can be a hindrance. So here, we're wanting to take away dogmatic behavior, things we do out of habit or self-consoling that could be damaging to ourselves. Sometimes the soul has to just pull the reins back and lift the veil and show us what's really going on. This degree has that ability all the time of shock and awe during an eclipse, which is interesting. Very powerful degree that has the ability to shine a light on the shadowy side of things. And in doing so, it gives us the purification by the water, the singing and the purifying, leaning into what we see and say, okay, this is being shown to me for a reason. Thank you. We take it in, and we don't have to have an immediate answer what to do with it, but we take it seriously here because the soul is talking to us, and it knows what we need moment to moment. The more we practice at this, getting to know ourselves, understanding when we stub our toe that we're the ones that did it, we brought this on, and we keep learning from it, keep tapping inward, those shock and awes, they feel uplifting, not so much scary. So we're bringing the moon and the sun together, the unconscious with the conscious. That's what happens during the eclipse, and that's what's happening on this degree. This is really beautiful as well. We come to a point where we stop pushing and striving, just let go. And we let soul guide us. Let ourselves be receptive to what comes, knowing that everything we have is there for a reason. It's nurturing us and feeding us on some level. We embrace it all, we take it all in, we eat the dark chocolate and we savor it, whatever that happens to be, and we learn from it. We continue to grow spiritually. The more we do that, ego comes into oneness with soul, become lighter. We see the standing stones up on the hill. We keep trying to attain to the higher aspects of life. The dark comes in the light. There's a backstory of the black rooster. A black rooster is the moon in the sunlight, crowing. So it's an awakening happening here. It's a glimpse into the eclipse happening here. Lives in a constant state of being surprised by the things they see. It was just like, did I really just see that? Did I really just feel that? Did that really just come to me at night? So lots of surprises that come from spirit. Wearing the crown of Stonehenge. We're aligned with the stars. We're aligned with earth. We're aligned with soul. Guides us. We get into a relaxed rhythm of just allowing, being receptive. A continual tapping into the strangeness of life keeps us in a state of awe and learning and growing, wiping away the layers of whatever might be hindering us. Can be overtly or subtly shocking to ourselves and to those around us if you have this degree really strong. So an interesting degree. That's what I have for you today. Leave me a comment if these are strong in your chart and you have some insight for the rest of us. Did you have a dream about these? Do you have a different take on these symbols? Leave a comment. Give me a like if you're enjoying these. Subscribe for more, and take care till next time.